Hi there. Well, I'm back again for another painting. I'm not even sure which one it is at this point. I'll put it in the description. So I thought what I would do is I'd play with color today. So right in front I've mixed up some color and I'm going to make a tropical sunset. Yeah, just practicing with washes and working with a little wet and wet and see where it takes me. So come along and see how. I'm going to start the wash off of where the pigment is eventually going to end up, outside of the painting area. Allows me to get it loaded. By dabbing the paint on, I can get more of the pigment onto the board. I'm just going to add in darker blue at the top, and that'll wash out. Because this is going to be an interesting series of colors. So we definitely want to have a wet edge on this. I'm going to start to take the color out of the brush. We're going into clear water now. We want to be decisive, but at the same time we don't want to rush this. Take in a little bit of lavender. Start to work that in. We've got a lot of water on the board. Walk back up here just a second. This is going to be the first of several washes, I think. Start to bring in some blue back in. You notice I have the board tilted. That encourages the pigment towards the bottom of the board. And then we continue the painting down past where the mat will eventually be. I'll let that get settled into where it's going to be. And one of the keys to washes is patience. This is going to be a painting of several washes. And to avoid any backwash, just use a paper towel to take up that little puddle at the base. There we go. You'll notice there's little bits and bobs, little pieces of flotsam in the wash. That's okay. We're not going to touch it. If we touched it right now, that would be bad. I've got a little bit of a streak here and there. That's eventually going to be clouds, so I'm not too concerned about that. So we're going to let that dry as is, and we'll be back. So I let the first wash dry overnight because I just wasn't feeling it yesterday. So I get to do two paintings today. That should be interesting. Interesting, yeah. But I've got a new wash ready to go. This is it's got a bit more of a green tint to the blue. I'm just trying to sneak up on a blue that I want for this painting. Just add a bit of water. And we start to work this down the board. Keeping that wet edge. I'm actually using my clear water to thin this. I'm taking some of the pigment out. Just working down the board and clean out my brush some. Don't want it to sit too long in one spot because it can start to create a line. And we'll start to bring in a bit of the blue back. Make sure that works down the page. I want to be careful not to go back too much over the area I've just gone to, because I will wake up the previous wash if I'm not careful. So I'm slowly sneaking up on the color I want. So it's been a few minutes. I'll let the paint dry so the wash is dry and ready for the third wash. I want to be careful I don't do too many. And the glamour and the romance of the artist is certainly not dead. I took the time to move some laundry around. So trying to be a good house husband. Anyways, mixed up some more paint. I think that one's ready to go. Yeah, got some fresh water. Okay, so again, I'm just going to load it up. It's really handy when you can start the wash outside of the final image area. Really want to keep the wet line of the wash perpendicular to the slope of your workpiece. I'll reduce the slope a little bit here. Clean it out. I want to be careful. See that spot right there where the pigment is wanting to accumulate. Just going in with clear water, starting to lighten the wash a bit. Anyways, what I was saying is I want to keep it perpendicular to the slant of the workpiece to avoid runs. Clean out the brush, dry it off, pick up some fresh water. Go back in. Because if you aren't careful, you can create a little spot where you're more likely to get a run. And that would be bad. Okay. From here on out, I'm just going to use clear water. I'm just going to continue this wash all the way down the board. There we go. So once again, just going to let that one dry and then I'll be back again.